met Walter and Mary Shemard in about 1991, early 92, and they were searching for a home. Walter had lived in the state home for years, and then he moved into independent living. And I went by the reception desk one day when I was a new agent, and I overheard the receptionist being very frustrated trying to communicate with somebody on the other side of the phone. So I borrowed the phone from her and I visited with Walter. And Walter had made an appointment to see a house, and the real estate agent had not shown up. So I said, I was just going out to lunch, that I'd be happy to run over and show him the house. Walter fell in love with the house. He thought it was wonderful, and that started a long-term friendship that we've had. Walter ended up buying the house and has made it his home now all these years, and he absolutely loves and cherishes it.
The first time I saw Walter, I did have my doubts, because this is a hard enough business for people that have all their faculties about them. What Walter lacks in physical abilities, he makes up for in mental abilities, plus he's very customer oriented. It's hard to believe that he does have anything that holds him back from doing a good job, because like I said, his mind is like a steel trap. I think that Walter could probably be a company president if he had the physical ability to do the job. It took me a couple of weeks to realize that Walter's handicap did not affect him and did not affect his ability to work here. He'll go outside and he'll bring in 6 to 8 shopping carts with his wheelchair, and he drives his wheelchair with his chin. You know, and I mean, I have trouble bringing in 6 or 8 with both arms and both legs, and he does it with the wheelchair. Another thing that he does is take the customers to the items in the store. They'll ask him where shelving is, and he'll take them back there and show them where the shelving is. He tries to help them as much as humanly possible, and he does as good a job as some of my associates that, you know, can walk back there and take the customer themselves. I don't know if he inspires everybody else in the store, but he does inspire me. Every once in a while I start to feel sorry for myself that something didn't go exactly right, and I look at Walter and I say, man, if Walter's not affected, I'm not going to be affected.
I love to work. I love to tell other people what I can do with my life. A lot of people come and load. What are you doing here? Look at him, he can't do nothing. It don't bother me, I just keep going.
Here we are at Walter's house today. Walter's become a part of our KW Cares family. He's a person who has some special needs, and even though he's outside of the actual staff and agent part of our family, he's still a part of our family. KW Cares, which is KW Keller Williams Caring Agents Responding to Emergency Situations, was something that the ALC in the Southwest Market Center started about 2.5 years ago to kind of define the whole family attitude that this company has, because that's such a rare thing in this industry. Our office had such a history of pulling together as a caring family unit that this was just a natural outcropping of that.
Walter spent most of his life in the state institution. His father loved him, and his father died very young. Well, one day the state of Texas decided that they were going to close the institution, and Walter and his friends would have to find apartments to live in, not homes. But Walter had a dream, and his dream was to have a house, a front porch, trees, and Walter's a very determined individual, and Walter made his dream come true. All of us out there have had countless closings, but most of the closings, the buyers are pretty indifferent about it. But at Walter's, he was carrying on, whooping and hollering, and tears rolling down his face and everything about his closing. And he was so grateful and so joyful, and I think we should all be so grateful and joyful for what we have in our life. And the bottom line about Walter is, I had a small hand in helping him get into the house, but believe me, Walter did more for the people that helped him get into the house than they ever did for him.
Walter's story is extremely inspiring to me. Just before Thanksgiving this last year, we were having dinner, and Walter came in, and part of his 3 jobs is selling flowers. And we started talking with Walter, and he showed us one of his Christmas cards. And we said, you know what, Walter, we'd like to be able to use your Christmas cards to send out to our customers and clients. And through various conversations and discussions, we were able to move forward on a Christmas card campaign that featured Walter and his artwork, all part of KW Cares.
And Walter wrote this, and it says, this is an original piece of art by me, Walter Shemard. My body is confined to the wheelchair, but my imagination is not confined by anything, as you can see. Enjoy. Isn't that wonderful?
That was great.
So Walter wrote that.
You always think how sometimes life is just so unfair or that. And then you have the pleasure and you look at Walter and what he's done. You turn back inside and you say, you know what, as bad as it can get, it's still pretty doggone good. And Walter brings that out in me, and it brings out, I believe, in everybody that Walter touches.
Walter doesn't give up. He just doesn't give up. He showed me what it takes for him to make a Christmas card. The way he holds an instrument in his mouth, the amount of time it takes him to make a circle for like the head of a snowman, most of us would read a book. He's phenomenal. He's so tenacious. He hangs in there and he does it. Walter has the same passion, lust, and love for life that all of us do. And I think that's what keeps him going.